Thank you so much for coming back to my channel. This is my third episode of my Woman to Woman series. And before we get into it, I just want to thank everyone who has watched and supported and shared my videos. It means a great deal to me. I really appreciate it. Thank you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. Today, we are going to talk about the big D word. Not that word. The word I'm talking about is divorce. And I know it's like a not so great topic to discuss, but it's very important because many people have gone through, a divorce or are currently going through a divorce. And if I could share anything that will, help someone, even if it's just one person, it warms my heart to know that I can encourage somebody through their process. So anyway, a wise woman once told me that the best way to get over a man is to get under a new one. And while that might be fun, it may not be the best thing to do when, we're going through something serious like a divorce. So that was just a little corny humor because it's such a serious, topic. Before I got remarried, I was divorced. I was separated and divorced for 7 years. And it was not easy. Anything that I say today is not because I did everything right and, I had all the answers and, my divorce went smooth. That is not the case, but after really doing some self-reflecting and, praying and things like that, I did arrive to a place of peace. And so we're just going to talk a little bit about those type of things today. So thing about divorce is it's like a death. Actually, it is a death. It is a spiritual death for people who are Christians like I am, people who, profess their love and shared vows in front of a minister. When we end what came together in front of God, it's a spiritual death. So anytime there is a death, there is, sadness, there is anger, there's all sorts of, feelings. And even if you are the one that wanted the divorce, that doesn't mean that you're not going to be sad. When you get married, most people don't go into it thinking that they'll get divorced. I certainly didn't. Some of the things that can happen when we go through a divorce is a lot of us blame ourselves. Of course, we blame our ex, the person who we're no longer with. And these are natural emotions that I believe a lot of us go through when we are faced with divorce. So if we have children, then the kids are definitely caught in the middle. Not all, but with a lot of divorces, there is a lot of arguing, fighting, just a lot of discontent. So those are some of the things that happens in a divorce. So what can we do to not be so angry through the process? And again, it's not easy at all, but it gets better. The first thing I believe we should do is to pray. You know, you'll actually probably be doing a lot of praying, but pray and ask for forgiveness. And I know, people are probably watching like, well, forgiveness, like, what did I do? And it's not so much about what you did. Maybe you didn't do anything, but the mere fact that you are ending a union that was formed before God, to me, it requires forgiveness, Now, hold on. If, you're watching and you're not spiritual, that's fine. You don't even have to worry about this part. But I'm a spiritual person. I'm a Christian. And there's a lot of things that I have experienced. Praying, talking to the Lord was like very vital to my journey. I'm a Christian. I, have a relationship with the Lord. So anyway, pray, ask for forgiveness for, being a part of a marriage that is ending. Period. Another thing that we can do is my favorite thing, self-reflection. And hopefully, you ladies don't feel like I'm picking on, the women, or I'm picking on women and, well, you always saying what women need to do, what women need to do, what do men need to do? Well, I can only give you a woman's perspective because I'm a woman, one. And I believe it's very important for people to know that when we encounter issues with one another, while he may be the reason why the marriage has ended, you're still responsible for how you handle it and how you go through it. I hope that makes some sense. So I'm just a firm believer on people, self-reflecting and seeing, how did I play a part in this situation? So when we self-reflect, of course we ask ourselves, a bunch of questions. And one of the questions that we can ask ourselves is, what role did I play in the demise of my marriage? I remember when I was going through my divorce, and it was like, I didn't do nothing. And the Lord was like, yeah, you did. And after doing some self-reflecting, it was like, you know what? I did play a part. I did. Absolutely. Just my opinion, but I believe that both parties play some type of role in the demise of a marriage. Whether it is not seeing the signs, denial, or just full on, doing stuff. I think sometimes people can not want to see things, and so they just kind of turn a blind eye to it. And then when they're met with divorce papers, it's like, oh my God, I didn't do anything. Like, how could... Another thing that we must do, this is going to be a hard one, ladies. It's going to be a hard one. But we must forgive our ex. We have to. In order to move on with the least amount of baggage, we have to. We have to make peace with our marriage ending. I believe when we do our homework, when we do our self-reflecting, it reveals lots of things. And once we're done with that, it makes it a little easier to forgive the other person. You know, it took me a while, not gonna lie. It took me a while, but I really had to just make peace with the whole situation. And once I did, it was such a weight lifted off of me. All of that stuff becomes so draining. We want to go into our next marriage with no baggage, honestly, with no baggage. And that is very possible. I know your mind wants to tell you, like, you letting him off the hook, or he did this, remember he did this. Why keep holding on to whatever it was? We need to forgive our ex. It's a must. You gotta do it, girl. I'm sorry. You have to. It'll be all worth it. It'll be fine. Just forgive them. The next thing that we can do is ask ourselves, what can I do to be a better wife in my next marriage? You might be thinking, well, I did everything. You know, I was perfect. You know, I cooked, I did this, I did that. There's always room for growth. There's always room for improvement. I truly asked myself that, and then it made me think about all of the things that I was like, okay, well, I wasn't really, you know, good at that, and I could have did that more. And you know, so if you can't be real with anybody else, you got to be real with yourself. You know what I'm saying? You have to. Just, if you have children, it is very important that, you know, you sit down with your children and talk to them. Be honest without being disrespectful, you know, about the other person, and assure them that both of you love them and it's not their fault, and things will get better. It's great to have a support system when you're going through a divorce. You want to be around people that will encourage you, and loving people that you know will be there for you and help you through this. So one of my other favorite things that we must do, we have to hit that reset button, and basically you'll be starting over. It gives you a clean slate, you know, a fresh start. I was definitely afraid. I had never lived on my own before. I went from like my parents' house to being married. I had a lot of support and a lot of family and friends that, you know, helped me. So pressing the reset button is very necessary. Another important thing that we must do is we must move on. Make peace with the divorce and move on. Leave all of the baggage in the past. The last thing that we need to do is we need to enjoy our life. Just because we get divorced, it doesn't mean that our life is over. It doesn't. It's another opportunity for love. You know, when I got divorced, I was like, yep, never doing that again. I didn't see it in my future at all. I didn't want to see it. How about that? I just was like, I'm good. Little did I know, you know, God had something in store for me, had someone in store for me that was just gonna totally change my thought process. Do not give up on love. Don't give up on love. There's so much love out in this world that can heal every hurt that we experienced. So When I say enjoy your life, don't let anybody make you feel like, you gotta wear this big D on your shoulder because you're divorced. So what? It happens. Things just don't work out. And you gotta end it, So live your life. Dating after divorce, I mean, it's fine. A little, distraction don't hurt nobody. I definitely had some distractions to kind of help me through the process. But I tell you, if you haven't done that self-reflecting, it can some stuff could happen. So I would suggest doing the self-reflecting and all those things before jumping into into dating. Fun distractions are great, but there will come a time where you have to be by yourself. We don't know how things how life plays itself out. We have no idea. You know what I'm saying? I met my husband David 5 years after I was divorced. So, and I had no idea that I would get married again. I had no idea. And look at me, all married again, all happily married. And life isn't perfect. No one is perfect, but it has been very beneficial for me, for my personal growth. You know what I'm saying? When I encounter, things in my marriage now, I reflect on how I handled similar situations in the past. And I'd be like, ooh, Kim, you have grown, girl. You have grown. Look at you. Learning stuff. So, oftentimes people, they'll see their ex or just people, you'll see somebody and you're like, wow, oh, now they want to do this. Now they want to be good. Now they want to spend time. And now, you know what? When you do a lot of self-reflecting and really looking at your role in your previous relationships, if you real with yourself, you be like, ooh, I don't want to be that person next time around. That's probably why they didn't like me no more, or that's probably why I got tired of them. Who knows? So they'll get into another relationship or a new marriage and they're doing all the right things seemingly, and all that happened is they didn't want a repeat of the last relationship. And you can't fault people for that. I'm sure people probably look at me like, oh, really? Now she wanna, hey. My notes. The last thing, you will love again. You will. You will love again. I cannot stress that anymore. Even if it doesn't feel like, you will. Just say it to yourself anyway. I will love again. And you just have to keep telling yourself that, because it's possible. And it's gonna be a better love. It'll be a stronger love because you've done some self-reflecting. You've forgiven your ex. You've left your baggage in the past. You've talked to your children. You're loving on your children. You are cultivating the new person in you. So you are positioning yourself, the new you, to be loved, and to love. So I know it's hard, but it will get better. I promise you. Just don't forget, self-reflect, forgive, move on, enjoy your life, and you'll love again. I hope that, something I said can help someone and make the process that you may be going through, make it a little better, or enlighten you on what's possibly ahead. So until next time, you guys, thank you again for watching my video. If anybody out there is missing my husband David on my videos, I know I'm missing him too. He's like busy working. I think we're doing a video this weekend, I think. So David will definitely be making an appearance in a video here soon, okay? Thank you guys so much. Once again, if you haven't, subscribe to my channel. All right, bye.